Hello freaks and sheiks, I'm Joanna, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a bit of a thrift flip. I apologize for the messy surroundings. There's literally nowhere in my house for me to get a blank background. There's my cat, hello Lex. So here we are in my dining room. Yeah, here's the dress. It's kind of really bad. This is like so old school. Like, since when was it like trendy for waistlines to be this low? Like, when was that? 70s? 80s? Like, when is this dress from? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, when were puffy sleeves a thing? When were extremely low waistlines a thing? Now that I think about it, it actually might just be like late 90s, early 2000s, because low waistlines were a thing in the early 2000s. But my point is, this dress is so outdated, but it's a pretty color. I like the sequins, not too fond of the sleeves. It has potential. Here's a bit of a close-up of the top. Like, I both love and hate this dress for many reasons. Like, it's kind of pretty, but it's also kind of not. So we're gonna make it pretty.
I'm gonna start by cutting the skirt from the top. Funny story about this dress, I didn't actually thrift it. It was given to me by my boss because it showed up in one of the storage rooms off season when the entire pool was closed and locked. So no one knows how or where it came from, but my boss didn't know what to do with it, so I took it off her hands. Here I am cutting off that extra fabric from the top because I do want the top to be sequins. I just don't want that extra sheer over my chest. As you can see, this fabric is not very easy to cut. I am getting sequins all over the floor. Now that I cut off all that extra sheer fabric, I have to sew down the edge to the edge of the shirt, if I could actually get my needle through the fabric.
Okay, so this is where we're at right now. Not bad. I just cut off the skirt and the sleeve chest area. I made a little like sweetheart top corset thing. The bust has some extra fabric, so I'm going to need to pull this back a bit. See, it fits, but the back here is like this really deep like V line, I guess. I don't even know what to call it. So I'm thinking if I just put laces in it just to like pull the top back, that might work. But I don't know if there's enough room for laces. I'll figure something out, but this is where we're at. It is already that much cuter as a top. Laces did not work in the slightest, so plan B is to pull back, grab the excess, and like sew it down somehow. It's gonna take some fumbling, but I think that'll work.
So I did all that fumbling, and once I was happy with the fit and the shape of the top, I cut off the excess material and began sewing it together.
I have a helping buddy. He has joined me. How nice of him. Okay, here we are. I brought it in. I need to do some work on the neckline. That got a little misshapen, and under the arms is also kind of an odd shape, but it's getting there.
And now for a kitty break. Here I am trying to figure out how to reshape the underarm so it doesn't poke out and look all weird. I was thinking I could just fold it down and make a new V-line in the back. And that is exactly what I did. Folded over the weird part to make a nice straight line, cut off the excess, folded over the edge, and hemmed it. And here's my helping buddy yet again. Milo was very interested in what I was doing all day. He kept sitting on the fabric and playing with the thread as I was trying to sew.
Okay, so I have fixed the neckline after I have destroyed the neckline. It's not perfect, but I mean, it's a lot better than it was before. I evened out the underarm area.
The only thing I'm mad at is that I took in the top from like these seams here and then they kind of got a little uneven. So as you can see, like one seam is here, one seam's like here. It's not centered, but it's fine. So next thing I'm going to do is hem the bottom so it's not so low-waisted. I don't like low-waist anything. We're gonna bring it up. I've already marked it where this pin is. It's gonna be more like here. That's a lot cuter than where it was before. First, I'm cutting off all of that extra fabric about an inch under where I marked with the safety pins to leave room for a hem. And here I am making that hem by folding over the fabric and sewing it down. Hello, I have moved into my bedroom because it's the weekend, so people are doing stuff downstairs in the living room. Meaning noise and less space. So here's my room. I apologize for the shitty lighting. So I finally cropped the top. Here it is. I think it's actually pretty cute. The edges are a little itchy now. I don't know what I'm gonna do to fix that, but I'll have to figure something out about that. Also, it's a little hard to get on and off now because I brought it in so much here and I sewed the end of the zipper right here so like the actual pull tab doesn't fall off the zip. It's a little bit hard to get into. I will either struggle or figure something out to fix that. Either way, it's cute! Onto the skirt. Since this was originally very low-waisted and I'm turning it into high-waisted, there's going to be a lot, and I mean a lot of extra fabric. So here I am trying to figure out exactly where I need to bring it in. And once I found a nice fit, I marked it with a safety pin. And now to shorten it. Pretty much the same process, just folding it up and pinching it to try to get an idea of what it would look like at different lengths. First I gotta remove the rest of that zipper. Yay! Alright, it's shortened and it is very uneven. I will deal with that later. The hem at the waistline is really ugly, so I'm going to cover that up with ribbon. First I'm going to lay it down and secure it in place with safety pins, and then I will hand sew it to the skirt. And the skirt's done! I kind of evened out the bottom, I finished sewing on the ribbon, and I ran out of thread in the process, so I had to put the whole project on hold until I bought more. I thought the skirt needed a little something extra, so here I am safety pinning chain on. I'm not going to bother sewing this down, I'm just going to leave the safety pins in because 1, I am tired of sewing, and 2, this way I can adjust the chains or take them off entirely if need be. And now for some thicker chain, because 1 chain wasn't enough. Okay, now the skirt's done, and I love it. The last thing I wanted to do was make gloves out of the sleeves, so here I am putting the sleeves on upside down so the wrist is by my shoulder. I'm putting the wrist at the top so it's a bit tighter and therefore the glove won't fall down, and also it's one less thing I have to hem. I didn't record much of me making the gloves because it was a struggle trying to figure out how to mark where I needed to bring in the fabric using one hand. It ended up being a lot of pinching the fabric, taking the glove off, putting a pin in, putting it back on, pinching the fabric, so on and so forth. Very tedious. But once I finally got everything marked out, it was just a matter of cutting off the extra fabric and sewing. Yeah, you can see me struggling here.
Now it's cute. Now it is really cute. Look at this. I highly doubt I'm going to wear this whole getup as a set. I can see me wearing the individual pieces with some other outfit sometime, somewhere. I don't know where or when, but you know, eventually. The point is, I did it! It was ugly, and now it's adorable. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!